So I'm wearing an extraordinary jacket because last week on Friday we had an extraordinary moment for cannabis as Republican-led effort to deschedule cannabis is something that frankly is a bill that could be a game changer for the cannabis industry, an industry that despite all of the strong growth and bottom-up dynamics really still is very much a macro story for investors. So Republican-led effort outflanking possibly Chuck Schumer and his very comprehensive cannabis bill, the States Reform Act, brought forward by Nancy Mace, is one that not only deschedules on the federal level, allows for banking, allows for cannabis to be regulated, to be taxed properly, not punitively, is something that also is leaving the power to the states to regulate social equity issues, criminal justice issues. This might be threading the needle and legalizing cannabis at a time when, in fact, the complications of the federal government may actually be put in the right context. So huge news for the market that was not expecting descheduling or a federal outcome potentially before midterm elections, and something that clearly is in the price of cannabis stocks. So this caught cannabis investors and the market way off guard, possibly a game changer in terms of fast forwarding legalization in the US. What happened to cannabis stocks and the market after this extraordinary move? What we saw Friday afternoon to the close, and I'm talking the last hour of trading, cannabis stocks rallied anywhere from 15 to 25%. That carried over the weekend into trading this week. My ETF had a big run in that time. And CNBS, which invests across both the US and the Canadian space, it saw that both US and Canadian LPs, so MSOs and LPs, rallied in an extraordinary way. Really, what's happened for markets here is after a very, very disappointing summer and a downdraft that carried through October, you took out in 2.5 days, or maybe even 1.5 trading sessions, all of the October downdraft. You've effectively put in a reset, a sanity check, because as bullish as the backdrop is for investing in cannabis, it's been a very difficult run for the last 9 months since we had the euphoria of federal legalization. So bottom line here, an industry that has had plenty of promise, has rewarded investors who have been investing long term. This announcement immediately took a spring-loaded industry significantly higher and maybe reset a lot of those charts. Again, an exciting jacket at a time for cannabis investors. So what now for the market? So first of all, painting the picture, very strong growth, sequential third quarter growth for a lot of the cannabis companies will not be what it was year over year, but 20 to 40% growth at a time where the industry, frankly, just becoming a lot more sophisticated. So at CNBS, we're investing in the full spectrum of how you have thematic exposure. These are companies that are finally getting, I would argue, that much more refined and operational excellence coming at a time when the valuations still put cannabis as a growth sector very much near the bottom of sectors that are showing enormous growth outside of cannabis and where investors have been seeking and running to growth. So again, tying up the investment theme here, third quarter earnings upon us, a market that has seen valuations reset, sit at the bottom of the range, companies that are more sophisticated, and oh, by the way, maybe some M&A coming that will drive up valuations as strategics begin to enter the sector again.